hate you. I'm gonna kill you. Oh, don't run away. You're gonna die. I don't want to do this. You need to learn your lesson. You shouldn't have come here. You're not leaving here alive.
Fame is very attractive until it attracts people and things that should not be in one's life. Mercedes Moore was just a model living her life and trying to enjoy life in the way she thought best she could before she died suddenly. Her death was a shock to many.
As you can see, Mercedes was a very attractive young lady.
And she was living the life she wanted to live. Before we go into the details of her death, let us get to know Mercedes Moore very well. To start with, Mercedes Moore is not actually her birth name. Mercedes' birth name is Jeanne Gagnier. Isn't that interesting? Nobody knows why she decided to go with the name Mercedes. It was probably for the media aesthetic. She was on good terms with her parents before her death. So her parents wouldn't be a reason for her to have changed her name. Mercedes was born on the 26th of November, 1987 in Texas.
So it looks like Mercedes has been keeping in shape. We're about to see what happened to Mercedes.
She's been interested in the fashion and modeling world. This became how things started for her. She started her Instagram journey in 2014, till she ended up building a huge following of millions. She became so popular that she decided to exploit the fame to make as much money as she could.
So it looks like we got somebody else on Instagram, a possible Instagram model.
It was known she actively delved into being an OnlyFans model at some point in her career. Also, she wanted to go into e-commerce because she had a huge following that would consistently buy her products, which is a great idea. At the time she died, she had about 2.6 million Instagram followers. Her career was filled with a lot of personal achievements that meant a lot for her. She was able to grow massive influence. Her influence...
So she was killing the game. Mercedes was killing the game on social media.
...of working with many big fashion brands, also appeared in many music videos and many publications. She was able to follow up with the ever-changing tides of social media and influencing.
So she was killing it on social media. Guys, she was killing the game. Let's see what happens to Mercedes.
Of course, the life of digital fame in this generation doesn't come without a downside. There would always be a certain image to live up to as a person. People would see you in a light, and you must keep living up to it. This is a lot of pressure on an individual.
You got to be careful with the social media, guys. It can be a dangerous game.
People would troll any celebrity when they feel the need to, and the victim must learn to live with it. Mercedes had to face these situations and also learn how to navigate them as a social media influencer. There is little known about Mercedes' romantic relationship because she didn't reveal that on social media.
Well, that's good. She kept her private life a little private, especially her relationship.
This might be either because she was not in any committed relationship, or it might be due to her OnlyFans career. Before her death, no one knew her relationship status. How did she die?
So it's obvious Mercedes is dead. And now we're gonna research what happened to Mercedes.
What was the cause? Let's get into that. It was Mercedes' father, Mark, who discovered that she had died.
That's a shame. Your parents discover that you died.
He was worried when his daughter was unreachable throughout the weekend. He decided to go to her house to find out if she was all right.
Multiple sharp force trauma.
We found her in her apartment doing a welfare check. People haven't heard from her.
Mark said this. I know my daughter, and when I got to my daughter's house and it was locked up and she's not answering my phone call, which is not like her, I knew something was up.
That's sad. So her father discovered that she was dead in her apartment.
That he doesn't wish for any parent to go through it. He found Mercedes' body at the bottom of the stairs in her house. This was probably the most heart-wrenching moment for Mark. Seeing his daughter's body lying lifeless on the floor, these are the kind of moments you wish miracles or something magical would happen.
No parent should have to go through this. Let's see what happens to poor Mercedes.
Mark, after seeing Mercedes' body, thought the death was due to an accident until he saw another body upstairs with a knife in the neck. The body...
So who was the other body? We already know Mercedes was dead, but upstairs was another body. Who was that individual?
Strangulation and traumatic concussion. This means she died being strangled and being hit most likely on the head.
Recover any weapons, any guns, any knives? Did you recover anything from the crime scene?
I don't want to release what we have or have not recovered. I will tell you there was no shooting involved.
For the suspect, the results showed that he killed himself. According to the medical examiner, the death was due to multiple sharp force trauma.
So we got a guy upstairs in the other room from where Mercedes was. He obviously had killed himself.
Mark mentioned something that was mind-boggling. He mentioned how the suspect made different writings on the wall of Mercedes' house. He also further mentioned that Kevin in the writings professed her love to Mercedes, how he also felt used, him confessing to the crime and other things. This begs the question on the relationship between Mercedes and Kevin. That is still a mystery to everyone.
So you decided to kill her?
Her and the suspect. And at this time, we are doing some investigating on social media to determine if there is.
But Mercedes' parents strongly believe Kevin was an obsessed fan who found a means to track her.
So evidently she met some weird dude that's a fan of hers that killed her.
Mark said this, "I don't know how he found her, and I don't know how all this happened." Talking about tracking her home, this is another mystery that seems unsolved. How did Kevin gain entrance to a gated complex?
So you decided to kill her?
Had security measures. How did he even access Mercedes' apartment? It's either there was an existing relationship between the both of them beforehand, or indeed Kevin was a crazy stalker.
So you decided to kill her?
You know how he got here from Florida? Did you recover a car?
That
Or
is
you found proof
information.
of an airline
That is information that is part of the case that I won't release.
So evidently the police are giving a couple of details regarding what happened to Mercedes.
Has to do with tracking him from how he got to Texas.
The police were not about to find anything regarding the possibility of Kevin and Mercedes knowing each other. Mark mentioned that he had always been worried about the possibility of her daughter's fame attracting obsessed fans. This was indeed a valid worry. It's painful that Mercedes died.
Guys, you're going to meet some weird people on the internet. So you got to be careful with this.
Listen to what the both parents had to say about Mercedes and her death.
Just like she had a few million followers, that's all fine and good. But she was a person, and we miss her a lot.
Searching us out to get the facts. Janae was loved, funny, goofy, crazy as hell.
So remember, guys, she changed her name from Janae to Mercedes, and that helped with her social media profile.
I know, and I shouldn't say that about my daughter, but that's my daughter. This guy found her. I don't know, but me walking in and finding my daughter and finding him committing suicide was just something that a parent should never bear.
This guy looks weird, okay? The guy who supposedly killed Mercedes looked like a weirdo.
She's very cautious about her surroundings. Unfortunately, someone basically was stalking and killed my baby.
That's horrible. Beautiful young girl. That's horrible.
After the news of her death hit the media, people started making posts with their condolences. The popular rapper Tory Lanez made a post with her picture saying, "Rest in peace, Queen," on his Instagram story, alongside a photograph of her.
So she was well known within the community. Very well known.
Many other big celebrities showed how much they were hurt by her death through their social media posts. Drake even went as far as dedicating a whole album to her. A vigil was even held in honor of...
So she was recognized by Drake. So she was out there. She was doing her thing.
Celebrities such as Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, and Drake. In fact, Drake dedicated his new album to the model today. TMZ reports Cardi B has been invited to Ganye's celebration of life service tomorrow.
Cardi B as well. A lot of celebrities do this young lady.
She was so happy and so funny and just so loving, and she just loved to
It
joke
would be all
around.
about
I really feel sorry for those parents. I really do.
her.
Yeah, as it is.
We
as
wouldn't
it
be up
should
here. It would be all about you.
As it should be. As about her. And again, we're going to remember that amazing spirit, that funny laugh, that 4'11" body, but that 8 foot tall, experience that we all got. So I appreciate her and love her, and we'll miss her forever and ever.
They hate you. I'm gonna kill you. Oh, don't run away. You're gonna die. I don't want to do this. You need to learn your lesson. You shouldn't